Well, now, the cows are gone. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Friday. Arlo, you got any wise words for the people to start their day? Perfect. Feels like forever since I held this camera. That's mainly because I honestly have no idea when the last time I took a video was. Playing catch up today. I've been gone all week. Family and I took our annual kind of middle of January vacation. We try and get away for at least a few days, if not closer to a week. This year we were supposed to go out to Los Angeles to Universal Studios, but with everything going on out there, we felt it would be really inappropriate to try and go out there and have fun on vacation. So we wound up punting on that idea. Just went up to Colorado Springs to an indoor water park for a few days. Kids had a lot of fun doing some other things too. A little bit of construction going on around here, getting another bay of this shed enclosed. So we got room, you can't even see it through my awesome windshield. Get the service truck and bucket truck inside year round. Keep birds and mice out of them, along with a lot of seed. A lot of random things that we need inside that we don't have inside. So they're getting that done. They said they actually had to fire up the welder and torch the other day. It's a little nervous when you're doing work like that with bales in the shed. For the most part though, we've just hit that real midwinter lull where it's take care of cattle and get projects done in the shop, and I'm happy to say both are going surprisingly well. Well, I shouldn't say surprisingly well, that sounds mean. Our herd health in the last month has improved so dramatically. Other than one group of like 25 Herefords that we bought at a sale that were already sick at the sale and they looked good, so the order buyer bought them, and we could tell on day one we were gonna have trouble with them. We've got a very big problem in that group, but other than that, the herd health has been really nice. The guys in the shop have been cranking out projects too. Right now, big deal is just getting tractors and stuff in, getting everything serviced. So it's ready to go till, well, midsummer for some of it, for a full year for others. Just depending on which tractor it is. Some of the higher houred one, or the ones we put more hours on in a year, we'll have to service them again midsummer before we get into the fall. But some of them, we put so few hours on, once a year is plenty. I do know our biggest projects today are just getting everything prepped and ready for this weekend's cold snap. So yesterday when we got home, it was right at 70 degrees. It was glorious. Today it's supposed to be in the mid 50s, but by late afternoon, the wind is going to be whipping because here comes the cold front. Now, from tonight through like Tuesday morning, with a couple different storms moving through, they're calling for a couple inches of snow. But it's going to be so friggin' cold, it's going to have zero moisture in it. They're calling for lows below zero, and that's before the wind chill. So we are getting everything prepped and ready for just what is sure to be a craptacular weekend of frozen tanks. Try and get projects in the shop, things kind of staged and ready, so we have stuff to do other than thawing out tanks. So that's our big thing now. We got to make sure we got plenty of feed on hand, ready to go, which, you know, our silage is already here, obviously, so we got to make sure we got the ground corn, ground hay. Get 2-3 projects in the shop because we aren't going to want to open the doors for a few days. Yeah, fun stuff. Now, here's a sight we haven't seen in a little while. Let's go chop some feed, huh? Chopper number one. The old battle horse or workhorse, whatever you want to call it, for this last year. Finally got it serviced and out. Again, every project in our shop takes forever because we have, why is that wobbling so bad? Between emergency projects with, like, you know, hay grinder or anything for feeding cattle, stuff like that. You know, we have a lot of things that pop up to where we can't just focus on this. Plus, we really haven't touched this in a couple weeks. We were just waiting on one more warranty piece of part of the exhaust that was broken. But it's finally done. I believe right now the plan is we're not going to touch number 2 or number 3 because it is looking like a very bad year for silage. The big feedlot overbought last year, so they're not probably going to buy any this year, it's looking like. So, where we don't know what we're doing, we're not going to put a bunch of money into 2 more machines. We got 1 fully functional, ready to go. That's good enough for now until we get a better idea. So now, those guys are sweeping the shop, getting the last little bit cleaned up. We moved a bunch of stuff around earlier. I'll try and show you guys that here whenever we go to lunch and everyone's out of there. Because again, if you're new here, the guys in the shop don't like me having a camera around, so I don't go in there when they're in there. But we're going to pack a couple of projects in, leave some room for feed trucks and a loader. With these cold temps, we want stuff in there ready to go. Feed trucks and loader, we want them to not have to worry about gelling fuel overnight and stuff like that. So that's our plan right now. See if Cameron and I can't figure out a place to put this. Gotta play a little Tetris, move some stuff around. Well, there's a nice handy spot right there next to the silage heads, or the corn heads. But the biggest tractor and implement would be in the way. Get that backed up, whip this in, pull that back in, and off we go. They didn't quite get done grinding before the wind shift happened. Now we got a completely wrong wind for that. But that wind shift going from straight out of the south to like that, straight out of the north, means the leading edge of our cold front is here. It's gonna slowly keep picking up over the next couple hours. So Tuna showed up. Aaron and I got a new emergency we gotta go handle. We gotta get his Christmas lights off his house before the wind gets crazy. So we're gonna go do that. Couldn't have timed that any closer. The grinder just parked. You can see the dust in the air. Looking that way, you can really see it. Oh, this afternoon has just kind of flown by. Head to the shop now, show you guys what we've had kind of going in there today. Now that everyone's kind of scattering. But I did want to bring something up because I thought it was too hilarious not to share. So, when you're willing to do social media, one of the things that comes along with that is people that recognize you are going to walk up and say hi. Don't get me wrong, that's awesome. Hey, I'm always willing to say hi. 99% of the time, though, it's been at like farm shows and stuff like that, or farm places, farm events, anything around the farm. Today, though, had to be the best one. It was at the liquor store. I'm not lying, I laughed for a solid 10 minutes. This guy, he looked at me kind of funny. He goes, "Are you High Plains Farmer?" I just got this shit-eating grin on my face, and I was like, "Maybe." And he just laughed. He goes, "I knew it!" And he walked out the door, and I found it absolutely hilarious. Okay, let's go to the shop. Show you guys what we've been doing today. Of course, the oil burner would fire up, but whatever. So, started the day off doing some reorganization on the shelves to get the top one opened up so our 12-row spouts could fit up there. Because that's a new guy. That one's mine. And then Colton's chopper and Cameron's chopper both still have 12 rows. So we need a place to store them for wheat harvest. If you don't know, we switch them out. Mainly because you don't need that gigantic thing on with a tiny little header. Backhoe, we got some oil leaks. They're just kind of getting started on that, figuring out what all problems we got, making sure we have all the filters, so Monday we can get started on this guy. Same thing with the 7520. We brought him in here just in case they're wrong and we get some snow. That tractor will be warm. It's got the bunk blower hooked on. I'll show you that in a minute if you don't know what the bunk blower is. But we wanted it in here so we could service it. But then we got the feeding equipment in here as well. Both feed trucks and the loader. Loader is normally parked outside, so it needed to be inside just so it'd start easier. Keep everything ready to go. The feed trucks, we park them down at the Tuna's house in his shed. But with these cold temps, we're worried, even with treated fuel, which we bought, we're worried about fuel gelling. So we figure if we park them in here, especially over the weekend, when nobody's here, doesn't really matter if we got these in the way. That should prevent that problem. Then come Monday, we'll figure out what to do. It sounds like Monday and Tuesday are still pretty cold, so I'm betting the projects for Monday and Tuesday in here is going to be the backhoe and the 7520, and we'll just keep these guys in here, keep them warm. And then, of course, we still got everyone's favorite, the mystery machine. It ain't going nowhere. Mainly because Glenn's been busy with other stuff and hasn't had a chance to work on it. The oil burner, they got that tank brim full. We got every bit of oil we can in there. So hopefully it plus this will get us through this cold spell. When we get this cold with this much wind, it doesn't matter how good the insulation is, that thing is going to be running a lot. But here's the bunk blower. If you've never seen it, it's kind of a cool little invention. So real simple, you got the PTO that spins, drive belts in there. Those drive belts turn this giant fan. As you can see, the blades in there. Throws the air out the side, down the tube. Use the hydraulics to keep from doing this. It's not supposed to be bent like that. Blow the air down the feed bunk, keep it clean, put in new fresh feed. Basically, after any snowstorm or moisture, we'll run this. And then about once every 2 weeks, we go ahead and run it just to get any of the old feed out of the bunk, because they're not going to eat that. All that being said, guys, it's time to go home for the night. Maybe I'll catch up with you on Monday, tell you how cold it is. Adios.